Good evening, everyone. It is Tuesday evening. It is humid as heck over here. So, we're going to have a cool down yoga this evening. We'll start energetically for the first little bit, and then we'll really wind it down, get you ready to relax and sleep and breathe. So, join me on your mat. We're going to start laying down and we'll get moving from there. So come onto your mat, lay yourself down gently. Stretch your feet out long, bring the arms down by the side. And we'll just start with a few rounds of breath here. You can close the eyes down if you'd like. Take a moment, breathe at your own pace, finding yourself centered, finding stillness, and relaxing your body. We often end in this corpse pose, Shavasana. And today we'll begin here. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. Letting your exhales bring with them, expel with them, any energy that no longer serves you, any stresses, any adhesions, anything that you're carrying with you that you want to let go of. Let them come out in the exhale. Feel your back make contact with the mat. And then slowly start to move your body. Wiggle the feet, wiggle the hands. Bring the knees into the chest and give them a squeeze. Slowly and gently rock yourself from side to side. Starting with a spinal massage here. Getting into the lower back might feel nice, especially after a full day. You can make some circles with the knees. Bringing both in close to the chest and then bringing them out. You'll point the toes, flex the toes. Maybe make some ankle circles here. So you can come back to center and start with just the right ankle. Making a few circles as if you're drawing something with the toes. And then the left ankle, same thing. And then switch directions on either foot. Maybe you do them both at the same time. And just isolating the ankles here, letting it feel nice, letting it feel good. And then once again, nice big squeeze with the legs. Rock yourself from side to side. We're going to sit up, but we're going to rock. So lift the shoulders off the mat, and you can keep the hands on the shins here and use the momentum to bring yourself up into a seat, feet planted. Lengthening the back, maybe making any adjustments that you might need, scooting back a little bit, staying on the mat. Roll the shoulders back and stay here. Feet are planted out in front of you. And just take a few rounds of breath in this position. Feeling the spine grow tall. Letting out your exhales. Maybe they're a little bit longer than your inhales. slowly start to lean back and lift the feet off the mat. We're going to come into a boat pose. So your feet are together, knees are together. You're about 90 degrees here. And when you do this, you're going to have a tendency to want to come in. But straighten the back as much as you can. Chest is forward and up. Shoulders are back. And bring the arms down by the side. You can squeeze the arms in if you'd like. And if you need a little bit more support, you can have the hands under the knees. So you can start here with the hands under the knees. And when you're feeling like you have it, release. And we're just going to hold here. Breathing into this. Feeling the energy starting to grow. Feeling that prana move through the body. Maybe you're shaking. Totally normal. Welcome it. Welcome any sensations that you feel. And if you feel your back starting to round, straighten back out. And just breathe into this. A few more rounds. One more big breath. Good. And then gently bring yourself back onto the back. And roll side to side. And once again, you're going to rock and roll up. And we'll come back into that seated position. So your feet are as far in front of you as they need to be for you to be able to sit up tall. If you bring your feet closer in and you feel that you can't do it, bring them a little bit further up. Should help. Sitting up nice and tall. You can keep the hands under the knees or bring them down by the side. We're going to lean back, lift the feet off the ground, and we're going to come back into boat. Breathing here, hands down by the side. And this time we're going to add a variation. We're going to do high-low boat. So if this is plenty, if this is enough for you, you can stay here, supported or not. Continuing to breathe in and making adjustments, keeping that back straight if you feel yourself start to round. And if you'd like to take this a little bit further and add a challenge, start to extend the legs and extend the arms behind you. We're not touching the mat here. We're coming back up. So extend and come up. We'll move with breath to do this. You can release it for a moment. Maybe make a few wiggles. And we're going to come back into it in just a moment. Plant those feet. Lean yourself back. Lift the feet. Hands down by your side. We're going to inhale to stretch out and exhale to come back in. Inhale out, exhale in. Do 5 more of these. Move with control. Last one, you can plant the feet and roll yourself into a little ball here. So the forehead comes to the knees, and maybe you pick up one cheek and the other, one sit bone and the other. And we're going to let our back round, maybe wiggle into it a little bit. Plant your hands down behind you and drop both knees over to the right. You can twist slightly over left. Let it feel good. Come back through center. Drop your knees over to the left, looking right, twisting at the waist. Come back through center. Once again, we're going to roll onto the back to a little ball. And side to side. Maybe make some circles if it feels good here. And then rock and roll back into that seat. Good. Plant those feet. Sit up nice and tall. We're going to come back one more time into boat. I promise we're not going to be here the whole time. Well, start to lean yourself back. Pick the feet up. You can have the toes pointed. Bring them to about 90 degrees. Release the hands or keep them supported behind the legs. Straighten out. Straight spine, shining that chest open. And this time we're going to try and straighten the legs. So if this is too much, you can stay right here, but see how far you can go, see how straight you can make them. And if you need to support this, feel free to support it. Otherwise, hands down by the side, point the toes, and we'll hold this for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it in. Head comes down to the knees. Big rounding in the upper back. And one more time, we're going to come down slowly onto the back and roll it out side to side, and then making circles with the knees. Switch directions. Very nice. Now extend that left leg out, holding the right one in. Nice big squeeze. Extend the right leg out, bring the left one in. Nice big squeeze. Bring the second knee in, and we're going to rock and roll back up to that seat. So keep those feet planted. Hands come behind. Drop both knees over to the right, look left, and this time pick up the left arm. Reach slightly back as though you're pressing in to a wall. So I'll show you what this will look like from the side here. So you've got your knees to the right, your right hand is down, left arm is reaching behind. Good. Release that left arm, come through center, drop both knees over to the left, twisting toward the right, reaching that right arm slightly back. So the palm is facing forward and the back of the hand is pushing into this invisible wall. Breathing here. Good. Come back through center and just let yourself windshield wiper side to side. And let it feel nice, let it feel good. Good. Come into a cross-legged position. Sit up nice and tall and make any adjustments that you feel you might need. And we'll take some spinal circles. So make some really small ones. Going toward the right. It's as if you're trying to draw with your belly button here. Small spinal circles. So we're not moving with the whole waist here. We're really just wiggling in that belly area. And then move the other way. Good. We're going to try something a little different. We're going to make a figure 8 with the spine. So I'll show you from the front what it might look like, and then I'll show you from the back just to get an idea. So it's as if you're drawing an infinity sign with your waist. So with the belly button. So you're starting to move as if you're making those circles, but then you switch directions. So you're coming slightly forward to the left. I'm going to put my arms here so you can see the direction that you're going in, but you can have your hands down. Going slightly to the left, drawing, and then coming to the right and drawing back. So make these figure 8s. It's something that's a little harder to cue than it is to just do. So let me know if you get it. It feel really nice. And you might get the shoulders involved and start to make it a little bigger. Good. And come back through center. On an inhale, reach the arms up, gaze up, tuck that belly in. Exhale, we're going to reach forward and just fold forward in our seat. So maybe you just reach out this far and this is where you are. Maybe you come down to the elbows, or maybe you're all the way down where I am. We're more concerned about what it feels like than what it looks like. You want to be pressing back in the sit bones here as you're coming forward. So maybe if you do come onto the elbows, push back down into those sits bones, and you'll feel that light up. I am very open in that area, so I can go quite far, but you're not looking to copy me, just looking to go in this direction. Breathe in here as you push those sit bones down through the ground. Good, and gently slide those hands back to center. Inhale, tee the arms up, and exhale, draw them back down. On an inhale, tee the arms open, and exhale, we're going to cross the left arm over the right and come into eagle arms. Inhale, reach the elbows up, gaze up. Exhale, bring them in toward the belly. Curl everything in here. Inhale, bring them up. Exhale, curl in. Inhale up. Exhale, curl in. Do this a few more times and just move with your own breath here. So we're doing a cat-cow in the back. Now we're opening in the shoulders with our eagle arms. And if eagle arms is too intense for you, you can always feel free to have the hands hugging the shoulders. This is a nice variation. Good. Unwind. Big T. And we're going to switch directions. So if you had your left arm over, you're going to bring the right arm over this time. Twist around into eagle. Inhale to come up. And exhale to tuck in. Again, moving with breath. And you could really articulate the spine here. Exaggerate the movements as much as you'd like. Slow it down. Really slowing today's practice down. Feeling every movement, every breath. Good, a couple more here. Good, inhale, T out, and exhale, gonna reach forward. Fingertips come forward. Palms are facing each other, but not quite touching. Shoulder width apart. Reach, reach, reach as you tuck everything in, bringing the belly to the spine. Inhale, cactus the arms, shine the chest open. Exhale, reach forward, tuck in. Inhale, cactus. Exhale, reach. Continue to move with breath. Inhaling to cactus and exhaling to reach. One more time. Good. Drop the hands down, sitting up nice and tall. We're going to walk the left fingertips out as far as they'll go. And we're going to reach up and over with the right arm. Now, maybe this doesn't feel so good on the shoulder, or maybe you can't come too far down. It's a great place to have a block. So what we'll do here is just put a block down if you'd like, and walk your fingertips out, and then come down to the block as you reach up and over. See what that feels like. Might change things. Maybe you turn the block up, come down to the elbow. Wherever you are, gaze under the right arm, reaching a little bit further, and those right fingertips, and maybe rotating the wrist here. So rotate the wrist down so that the palm is facing down, and then rotate it out. And see what kind of a difference that might make. And then slowly come back up. If you have a block, you can drop it down. Walk your right fingertips out. And again, if you want to come to a block, you can, or you can just come down to the mat. Reach up and over with the left. And if you feel that you're dumping weight into this right shoulder, you can turn the right fingertips out. So as if you're opening up a jar. And come onto the fingertips here. See if that feels nice, or come down to the elbow. Whichever one you need. And continue to push through your left hip, your left sit bones. bring it down to the mat. It has a tendency to want to come up as we reach over. You don't have to be reaching as far as I am. You might be up here and that's okay. You might be up here and that's okay too. Wherever you're comfortable, whatever feels nice. This is more about what it feels like right now than what it looks like. Good. Gently come back through center. Inhale, both arms up. And exhale, sweep the arms behind you and clasp the hands and start to lean forward. So we're hinging forward at the waist, reaching behind with the arms. I'll turn sideways to show you what this looks like. Just like this. Long line from the crown to the tailbone. Lifting to resistance. Good. Gently release them down and press down into the mat with the fists. You can keep the hands clasped or you can make two fists and open up the chest here. Keep those shoulder blades on the back. Maybe you let the neck hang back a little bit. Good. Release, reach forward, curl in. And then on the next exhale, you're going to roll yourself up into tabletop. Coming into your tabletop here, make any movements that feel nice. So maybe a little hip wiggle, cat-cow, anything that feels good. And just getting in to any cracks or creaks that you need to make. Letting go of any tightness. Shaking off the day. And then you're going to tuck those toes under and we're going to come to sit back on the heels. So this could be a little intense if you're not used to it. These are toe sits. They're excellent for the fascia of the foot, which is that webbed connective tissue. If you've been practicing with me for a while, you've heard me talk about it. My feet are quite tight today, so I'll come in and out. You can hold this as long as it's comfortable. Might not be comfortable at all to begin with, but you can hold it as long as you're able to and come out for a moment if you need to, and then come back in. So as many times as you need to come out, even if you need to come out every couple of seconds, it's okay. You're still getting the benefits that you need. So you could be doing this, or you could just stay here and breathe into it to really send your breath to that feeling, that sensation. It's a really intense sensation for some of us. Send the exhales there. Speak to your nervous system with those exhales and say, it's okay, I'm okay here. I want this, even though it might not feel like it. I want this opening. I want this to feel nice. And then gently release by coming down onto the hands and tapping the toes out gently on the mat. And again, we'll take a couple of cat-cows here. So roll the shoulders back, drop the belly, gaze up. Exhale, push the ground away. Roll in. Inhale, drop the belly, gaze up. And again, you can take this in a slow motion, really articulating the spine as you're dropping, looking forward. Feel yourself moving vertebrae by vertebrae. Tucking the tailbone up and down, bringing the head up and down, bringing that belly up and down. And then one more little wiggle here. We're going to tuck those toes under and we'll come into a downward dog. So you can come slowly into it and pedal the feet out here. Opening up the backs of the legs, getting into those tight calves, maybe those tight hamstrings. Feel free to keep a bend in the knees too, especially if it's your first downward dog of the day. If you've been on your feet all day, if you've been running around, or if you've been sitting all day, all of these things will make us tight. So the heels are coming toward the ground. They might touch, they might not. As long as they're going in that direction, send them in that direction, bring the chest a little bit further down. And breathe here, find stillness for a moment. Let your head be heavy, maybe shake the head no, and yes. couple of times. And on the next inhale, come to the toes and slowly roll into a plank. Staying here, building some heat. Breathing, gazes forward and down. And then exhale, push up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward, plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Once more. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Slowly walk your feet up. You could bring them very, very slowly, 1 foot at a time, like you're trying to make footprints through the sand or through mud or through paint. And then when you get to the top, let yourself hang. Come into your forward fold. Bending the knees if you need to, if you'd like to, if it feels right, if it feels good. Grab your opposite elbows. Pull down on the shoulder girdle. And breathe into this. Breathe into those sensations, the stretching in the back of the legs. Send your exhales where they need to go. And then release your hands down and very slowly let yourself come up like a skeleton or a dancing scarecrow. And bring one shoulder up and then the other. Inhale, reach the arms up at the top. And exhale, draw your hands through heart center. We'll step up to the top of the mat here, come into mountain pose for a moment. Bring the hands to heart center. Big round of breath. Drop the hands down by the side. Palms are up, facing forward. Roll the shoulders back. Breathe here. Close the eyes down, soften the knees. We don't want to be hyperextending. Tuck the belly in, tuck the tailbone down. Make everything nice and strong in this mountain pose. And just breathe here for a moment. Good. On the next inhale, reach the arms up, gaze up. Exhale, fold yourself forward. Inhale, take a halfway lift, hands to shins, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, push yourself all the way up to standing, reach up at the top. And exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach up, gaze up. We'll take a sun salutation here. Exhale, fold. Inhale, hands to shins, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, left foot, drop the knee down. Inhale, peel the arms up, cactusing and lunging into the right leg. Reach up at the top, and then exhale to draw them down to heart center. Inhale, reach. Exhale, plant the hands, pick up the back knee and step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward into plank. Exhale, you're going to come down halfway or to knees, chest, chin. Flip the toes, upward facing dog or cobra. Flip the toes back, downward facing dog. Walk the feet forward to meet the hands at the front of the mat and exhale to fold. Inhale, hands to shins, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, push, rise all the way up, reach up, and exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, hands to shins, halfway lift. Exhale, plant those hands, step back, right foot, drop the knee down. Inhale, peel yourself up, cactus those arms, and then reach up at the top. Exhale, draw the hands down through heart center. Inhale, reach. Exhale, plant the hands, pick up the back knee, step back, downward dog. Exhale here. Inhale, roll forward into plank. Exhale, chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Flip the toes, upward facing dog. Flip them back, downward facing dog. Walk, skip or jump to the front of the mat. Exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, push through the ground, rise yourself all the way up to standing. Reach up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, hands to shins, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, left foot. This time, keep that knee up. We're gonna peel up, cactus arms, high crescent lunge. Reach up to the top, lunging deep into that right leg. Exhale, plant the hands down and take a big step up. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step both feet back. Plank position. Lower yourself halfway or to knees, chest, chin. Flip the toes, upward facing. Flip them back, downward facing. Walk, skip, or jump to the front of the mat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, hands to shins, halfway lift. Exhale, fold yourself forward. Slowly rise yourself all the way up to the top on an inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, right foot, keep that knee lifted, push through both feet, lift yourself up, come into cactus arms, and then reach up at the top, lunging into the left leg. Exhale as the hands come through heart center. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, plant the hands and take a big step up. Right foot meets the left. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant hands, step back into plank. Lower halfway or to knees, chest, chin. Flip the toes, upward facing dog or cobra. Flip the toes back, downward facing dog. Walk, skip, or jump to the front of the mat and exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Push to the ground, rise up as you inhale, reach up at the top. And exhale, hands to heart center. We'll add on once more. Inhale, reach up, gaze up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, left foot, drop the knee. Peel those arms up, cactus, reach up at the top, pull back on that right hip crease. Exhale, draw the hands through heart center. Inhale, reach. Exhale, hands to heart center and twist open to the right. Left elbow on the outside of the right knee. You can open up here if you'd like, reaching up and forward with the left arm and down with the right. Or up and over with the right arm, down with the left. And you could then reach back with the right arm, up and over with the left. Continuing to lunge into the right knee. Getting a side bend twist. Good. Exhale, windmill those arms to frame the foot. Pick up the back knee. Step back, downward facing dog. Roll forward into a plank and take your vinyasa lower halfway or to knees, chest, chin. Upward facing dog or cobra, and then downward facing. Hop, skip, or jump to the front of the mat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, hands to shins, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Push yourself through the ground, rise all the way up, reach up, and exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, hands to shins, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, right foot, drop the knee. Peel that chest up, come into cactus arms. Inhale, reach up, and exhale, draw those hands down through heart center. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart center and twist open toward the left, right elbow to the outside of the left knee, lunging deep. Breathing here. And then you could open up the arms. So extend the right one down, left is up and over. And on the next exhale, bring that left one back, right is up and over, continuing to lunge forward. So we're in a twisted lunge with a back bend and a side stretch. A lot going on here. Exhale, windmill those arms, frame the foot, pick up the back knee, step back, downward facing dog. Drop to the knees. And we're going to come to sitting on the knees. Take a few rounds of breath here. Maybe make a wiggle or a shake. Maybe shake out those wrists. If downward dog has been a bit much, sometimes it can be. And you can bring the feet out in front of you. On an inhale, reach up. Exhale, reach forward. Fold forward. You could reach for the toes or bring the hands down by the side, wherever they go. Just going in this direction. Let your back roll. Curl in. Let the head be heavy. Let it feel nice. And slowly peel yourself back up. Bring those knees back under you. So coming back to a seat on the knees. And once again, breathing here. Good. We're going to walk the left fingertips out from the knees this time. And same thing as we did in our seat before. You can come down to the mat. You can come down to your elbow. You can come down to a block. Reaching up and over with the right arm, twisting the chest open. Good. We're going to sweep that right arm down in front of us to come over to the right, reaching up and over with the left. Send those hips slightly over toward the left as you reach toward the right. Good. Come back, whoosh, through center. Bring both arms behind you and lean forward into rock pose. Very similar to child's pose, but your hands are down by the side. Good. Push yourself up back into a seat on the knees. And this time, if you'd like to take a block or just bring your hand down to the mat, you can put your left hand down, and we're going to extend the right leg out, reach up and over with the right arm. Maybe reaching slightly back. Let it feel nice in the belly. Reach a little bit further. Make contact with the toes to the mat. And once again, we'll reach forward to come out of it. Bring that knee under you and switch sides so you can take it to a block or to the mat. Kick out that left leg, reach up and over with the right. Pushing the hips slightly forward. Let it feel good. Push down through that left foot. Make contact with the mat. Maybe you just push down through the toes, maybe through the whole side of the foot, whichever is available to you. Reach a little bit further and then swoop forward, bring the knee back and back into rock. Exhale here. Good. Slowly roll yourself back up again to a seat on the knees. And we're going to take a toe sit one more time and see if this might feel a little different than it did when we came in at the beginning. So lift the hips up, turn the toes under, and really check that they're all touching the mat. So maybe if you need to assist them, make any assistance you need. And then slowly send the hips back toward the heels. Maybe they touch, maybe they don't. My hips don't fully touch the heels, and that's okay. We're just going in that direction. The weight is what's going to be doing it. Gravity is doing the work it needs here. And just breathe. The first time I did this, my instructor told me, just try and think of something else. It's really hard to do. But then I found it helpful. She just started talking about something, so it gave me something to focus on. And then she said something that really resonated with me, was just focus on the breath. If you're focusing on inhaling and exhaling and really counting it, visualizing that breath going in, visualizing the breath going out, it makes it harder to focus on anything else. Good, and we'll come out by planting the hands down and slowly untucking those toes, shaking them out, maybe rocking them gently from side to side, maybe tapping them a little bit on the mat. Take a little wiggle and we'll sit back onto the heels. And this time we're going to bring our hands behind us once again and just push the chest open. Maybe lift the hips up if you'd like, if that's available to you. Or maybe you keep them down, whichever one you'd like. So any variation. You could turn the wrists in so that the fingertips are facing the body, lifting the hips up, taking slight back bend here if that's available, if that's in your practice. Otherwise, just stay down, let it feel good. Roll the shoulders on the back. Try not to look around with the neck too much. So keep the neck forward. Maybe you look down, maybe you look slightly up. Don't need to be going from side to side. And if you are able to and you want to lift the hips, you can move them with breath. So you could inhale to lift and exhale to come back down. Might feel nice. And if this doesn't feel good on the knees, then don't do it on the knees. Do only what feels right. Good, and we'll slowly come out of this. However you need to come out, we'll come back into a seat. Once again, we'll take some of those circles, little spinal circles, and this time we're going to make it a little bit bigger. So start with small ones. Good, and then grow. Big circles, getting the chest involved, the shoulders involved, everything's going forward. And then switch directions. So again, start small. Small little circles. And then make it bigger. Bring the whole chest forward, the whole chest back. Let it feel good. Find any of those sticky places that you want to get into. Stay there if you need to. Any creaks or cracks, maybe you just sort of slither down close to the ground if that feels nice. And then come back up to your center. We'll roll the shoulders, so start by rolling them back. And then roll them forward. And you can get the neck involved. So bring your chin down to the chest, toward the collarbone. And take your hands, interlace the fingers, and bring them to the back of the head. So keeping the chin down here. On an inhale, pick the head up, so chin comes up, and lean back, opening up across the chest and into the shoulders. And you'll feel this under the arms. So you'll feel this maybe down your sides, in the armpit area. Let it open and feel good. And push the head back into the hands. Breathing here. Continuing to sit up tall, leaning back. Good, and then we'll start moving with breath. So you could bring the elbows in and tuck everything in as you exhale. And then inhale, bring it up and open. Exhale, tuck it in and close. Inhale, open. And you don't need to use a lot of force here. We're really just moving the head and the hands are following the head. So we're not really pushing. We're really using gravity. A lot of these similar articulations with different variations in our practice today. Really nice to get the spine moving in all these directions with all of these different options. And as always, you can take what you need and you can leave the rest. If this doesn't feel good, you can always release the hands and just move the head up and down. Maybe you move it from side to side. Or maybe you just move the hands. Completely up to you, it's your practice. Wherever you are, we'll roll back into tabletop for a moment. And we're gonna take a little wiggle here. Maybe pick one leg up and then the other. One hand up and then the other. And then find your stillness. Find center. Let your back curve the way it naturally wants to. Gaze slightly forward. And on the next inhale, reach the right arm out and kick the opposite, so the left leg out. Good. Release it back down. Do the same thing on the other side. Inhale, kick the right leg out. Reach forward with the left arm. Good, release. We'll add on, inhale, right arm, left leg. Exhale, bring the knee into the elbow and curl everything in. Inhale, reach. Exhale, curl. Inhale, reach. Exhale, curl. Do 3 more. Reach as you inhale. Curl as you exhale. One more. Good, release. You can just shake it out. And we'll move to the other side. Reach that left arm out, right leg. Exhale, knee to elbow. Do 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, come back down, and again, shake it out. We're going to lift the right knee this time. So we're at this 90-degree angle, and we're going to kick the leg out and bring the knee back in. So just a couple of these. Move with control. Good, release. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Straighten the leg, then bend the knee. Straighten and bend. Straighten and bend. Try and keep the hip where it is. It could be quite a challenge, but we're practicing our control here. Good, release. We're going to do one more. While we're here, you're going to lift the left knee up, and we're going to kick up just like this. So little pulses, point the toes, and we're kicking up toward the ceilings. The ceiling. Don't think you have multiple ceilings. So we're just pulsing, pulsing. But again, move with control. And then bring it back down. Take a cat-cow. And then move to the other side. Left leg comes up. Knee up. And we're pulsing. A couple more. Good, come down. And once again, come to sitting on the knees and take some shoulder rolls. Maybe shake the arms out, let everything be loose. And you can sweep the feet out in front of you. We're gonna come back to where we were when we started. Gently roll onto your back. Bring the knees in and rock gently from side to side. So this has been a relatively slow flow, but a very powerful one. Just because we move slowly doesn't mean that we're not putting in a lot of work. So your practice isn't just a physical one, but the mind-body connection that you're creating when you Connect the breath with your movements. It helps speak to your nervous system. And over time, it helps to lower your heart rate, to deal with stress and anxiety, and just coming to your mat. This simple practice of being here, right now, is helping to release tension, and not just physical tension, but emotional tension too. So anytime you exhale and you have nice physical release, you can also exhale and have an emotional one. And it's not uncommon for people to come onto the mat and just have a cry sometimes. Our emotions are so interconnected with our bodies, and sometimes we store so much in our muscles. Our muscles have memory. And sometimes that memory is associated with a trauma. If you're interested, I can share with you the title of a book that I've been reading called The Body Keeps the Score. And it explores how trauma is stored physically in the body. It's quite fascinating. And it's also fascinating to know that we can release it. It just takes some work, some dedication, but you're already doing it because you're here, you're on your mat, you're making a regular practice, and it doesn't matter how regular is. If you're doing it every day, if you're doing it once a week, if you're even just doing it once a month, you're doing it. That's what's important. And we'll come to stillness, plant the feet down, just let both knees drop toward the right, gaze toward the left. Take some nice big belly breaths here. Good. Bring the knees through center. Drop both of them over to the left. Look right. And just let yourself windshield wiper here, one leg at a time, dropping one knee at a time. You can keep your head neutral at center if you'd like. You don't have to turn it. Get dizzy. And just let out anything that's being stored in the lower back right now. Let out anything in the hips and the legs. Let it soften. Let it crack if it needs to. Always finding new cracks, new pops, and the aging body is a fun one. And then bring the knees in one more time. Big hug. And we'll come into a happy baby. So bring the knees about shoulder or hip width apart. Reach for the inside of the feet or the outside, whichever is available, and press down into the feet as you kick into the hands. So we have these opposing force here. And you can rock from side to side, or you can stay in stillness. Your choice, your practice. Always take what you need. Continue to breathe here. Slowing those exhales down, especially near the end. Making them a little bit longer. Good. Gently release the feet down to the mat. We'll do one more windshield wiper motion, side to side. And then we will come into our final Shavasana. So come back through center, extend those legs out long, arms down by the side. We'll take one big stretch before we settle in. Reach the arms up over the head, spread those fingertips wide, point the toes, reaching as far back as you can with the hands. You'll curl naturally in the lower back. Maybe arch the back a little bit. Reach, 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 reach. And then release. Exhale. Hands are down by the side. Feet splay open. Toes are relaxed. Head makes contact with the mat. The natural curve of your spine occurs. And just allow yourself to be still for a few moments here. Rest is so important. It's so restorative. And sometimes we forget that. We can do all this work, but if we don't rest, then that's all we've done is work. For what? When we rest, we have that time to recover, build strength, build muscle, increase flexibility, and just regenerate everything that needs to be regenerated. Your last few moments here on the mat, allow yourself to come into a silent meditation as your body relaxes down, gets heavier. Each part of your body sinking a little bit deeper into the mat below. Feeling the earth support you. As your breath slows down, as your heart slows down, and just as your day slows down. You can stay here, as always, as long as you'd like. Maybe you crawl right into bed. Maybe wiggle the toes and fingers. And start to bring a little bit of movement back into the body. Bending one knee, rolling over to one side. Maybe you bring the arm long, lay on it like a pillow. Gently push yourself up to a seat. Feel yourself sit up tall, maybe a little bit taller than you were when we first started. And breathe. You could take one last audible exhale, letting anything else that needs to come out, come out. Shake it out if you like. And thank you so much for being here. Thanks for joining me. Thank you, even if you're watching this in a replay, thanks for coming to your mat. Thank yourself for being here today. Thank you for taking care of yourself and for making me a part of your practice. We'll see you in the next one. Have a beautiful day or evening or afternoon, whatever time of day it is. Have a great one.